This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution, having a bit of a bad hair day here, unfortunately. But I am joined all the way from Bourgogne, Burgundy, by none other than Sébastien Roux. Along with his brother Mathieu, they head up Domaine Roux, a house, a Burgundian house that have been around since 1885. Tell us a little bit about your family's business over there, Sébastien.
Yes, hello. I'm very happy to talk with you today. So yes, as you said, my family started in 1885. So my great-great-grandfather, Louis Roux, he arrived in the village of Saint-Aubin and he acquired a very small piece of vine. And the real development of the domain has been made by my grandfather, Marcel. And during his generation, he extended from almost 0 hectare to 25 in Saint-Aubin and surrounding villages like Chassagne-Montrachet, Puligny, Meursault, and Santenay. And then he has been joined by his three sons, including my father, and their generation, they extended from 25 to about 55 hectares. Same villages, and they also had an extension in Côte de Nuit, with beautiful appellation in Vougeot, Chambolle-Musigny, Gevrey-Chambertin, and the north of Côte de Beaune. And I try to make it short because it can be very
No,
long.
that's okay. That's okay.
No. And my brother and I, we joined in 2003, so 20 years now. And my brother Mathieu is taking care of the production, so vineyard, vinification, everything from the grape to the bottle. And myself, I manage the company and I do more focus on the development, the sales, and development also of the estate. So today, Domaine Roux, we cover an estate of a bit more of 60 hectares in a,
For Burgundy,
in
it's quite
50.
large.
Yes, it's not small. In 15 different villages.
Okay.
With a bigger part, larger part in Côte de Beaune. So Saint-Aubin is our flagship appellation.
Right.
And we have very nice vineyard in Chassagne, etc., in Meursault and other villages. So I would say we do about 40% Chardonnay, 10% Aligoté for the whites, and 50% Pinot Noir. So both Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, the main grapes of Burgundy, are very important for us. And with my brother, we do we call in French vinification parcellaire,
Yes.
which means that we work we like to separate a single vineyard. So we produce a total of about 120 different appellations with our own estate. And then my family, in 1984, we created a négoce. So we buy grapes for the large part of them. And yes, so we are here for a long time, and we have a good, we have very good partners in international markets, including Canada and of course Ontario. We are in Ontario for a long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah. And yes, and that's it.
Fantastic. Now, what is the approximate annual size of production today?
Yes, globally we do about regarding Burgundy, we do about 600 to 700,000 bottles. And regarding Vin de France, that we started in 2017, it's huge development now. But I will say we are this year we will do about 300,000 bottles for both Chardonnay and Pinot Noir together.
Interesting. Now
So
I'm quite.
We are close to 1 million, but yes.
I understand the fluctuations of vintage, of course.
Yes.
Now I have a question for you. I'm quite fascinated by the role of the négociant in 2023. How do you believe the role of the négoce has changed throughout that time period? I mean, you only
Yeah,
started in the 80s, but I'd be curious as to how you feel the role of the négociant has changed and the challenges faced today by a négoce.
yeah, of course. So what I see, as you said, it's we a part of our activity is négoce, but it's not regarding Burgundy. It's not big, so we are not a major player, the négociant in Burgundy. But of course, one of our business is négoce. And I would say for my young experience, what I can see is that mainly the last 5, 10 years, it's more challenging now because Burgundy is very small, which is a great advantage for the region because we have more demand
Yes, yeah,
and a
sure.
smaller offer. So it's always very interesting, of course, to be in this situation. But I will say that it's more difficult today to find what you want to have because we live in a more modern world, more connected. So it's much easier today for a very small producer to find importers and opposite. Also, it's
Yes,
very easy with internet to find if you have an importer in Canada or US or somewhere to find a producer in Burgundy, even a very small one. And so it creates less opportunities for pure 100% négociant activity. And also it's much more expensive than in the past.
yes, yes, yes.
So I would say to resume the place of négociant in Burgundy that the négoce is still very important. And he has been very important in the construction of Burgundy the last centuries because négoce, négociants, they have been the first to travel and to show Burgundy. If we take example of Louis Jadot or Louis Latour and
Yes,
others
yeah.
in the US, for example, or in UK or in Asia. So they opened the doors, I would say. And after that, you had a more medium-sized négociant coming, and of course, all the producers, very small or big or iconic, all different kind of brands and producers. So they are still very important, uh, and they are very important for the local economy. Often, a négociant can be seen as just a seller of wine. Uh, and the image can be sometimes not very welcome for final consumers. But majority of négociants in Burgundy, they work very well and regarding the quality, regarding the sourcing, and they are very important for the good health economic
Yes,
activity in Burgundy. Because when we have good vintages and in quality and small volumes, it's always easy to sell. But when we have big vintages, uh, everyone is happy to have négoce uh,
to
to
assist.
sell
Yes.
to négoce because they have the network, you know.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
I find it interesting because historically, négociants were the gatekeepers to getting your wine outside of Burgundy. And you're right, because of the interconnected world we have right now, we've seen that increase in estate bottlings because people can easily find importers all over the world.
yes, and also it's always important to remember that the négoce in Burgundy is a quite large owner, globally talking.
Yeah.
If we take all négociants in Burgundy, they are in total very important owner of land. So it's very rare nowadays to find a company who is 100% négociant in Burgundy
I
because
agree.
it's almost impossible. It's very hard now to have access to new producer to work with, and so it's very important to have a solid estate base uh, for working today. Yeah.
What would you say the greatest challenges are in making and selling Burgundian wine today?
I would say for us, the most challenging part is, I would say, the price point and also availabilities. Uh, because in Burgundy, we are a bit in a bubble, I would say, in France, because we are very small and we have a very old history. And the classification in Burgundy is for me, I'm not saying this because I am from Burgundy, but I like it because it's a classification established according to the long story of the monks,
Indeed, yes.
and the classification is not made according to who you are, but where is located your vineyard. And it's very for us, for our family, and I think people here, it's very important because this is really true, what you can find and smell according to the terroir, the climate in Burgundy. So we are lucky, but it's very hard to find the good balance for us between to keep Burgundy affordable for in the markets and to not become something like an investment. So you
Yes,
buy
yes.
and you resell, but you never drink the wines, because in a long perspective, in future, I think it's important for us in Burgundy to stay vigneron, so wine growers, as we are for centuries, and to not become too much a luxurious uh, product.
Which brings us quite nicely into your expansion into the Vin de France, because that's making an affordable Pinot Noir, an affordable Chardonnay, well, more affordable than the Burgundian equivalent, right?
Yeah. In fact, we created this. It was a important decision because we Vin de France is of course not Burgundy wine. So it was a bit challenging for us to make sure our clients, they can understand that even if we do Vin de France, it's not to, we didn't want to, how could I say, to lose qualitative image and perceptions they can have
Yes,
about
I
us for
understand. Yes,
Burgundy as
yes.
a Burgundy producer. But we decided to do it in 2016 because we had a very huge frost in Burgundy and we lost a
Yes, yeah.
lot of harvest. And we were scared with my brother to have that more often due to the climate change. And we wanted to have something coming outside Burgundy just to regarding economy.
Yep, to hedge your bets. Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. And also, we saw that the prices were going up fast for Burgundy wines, and we wanted to propose an alternative to our clients in France and in international markets. But we wanted to do something in a Burgundy style. So, as you know, better than me probably, in France, mainly in south of France, you have a lot of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay grapes. You have many producers, they work very, very well. But what we know is that often in south, you have more for the Pinot Noir, for example, a more like a cooked fruit, a more sweet uh, finish at the end of the mouth, which is very good, but which is not what is Burgundy. In Burgundy, the Pinot
Yep.
Noir, we have more freshness, and it's less explosive at the beginning of the mouth, but we have a longer finish and a lively acidity, freshness. and a kind of tannins, which make Burgundy very unique. And so when we started Vin de France, so Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, we took care a lot of the origin, the sourcing. And for example, for Pinot Noir, we went to Allier because you have over there Pinot Noir a bit light but very nice freshness. We went in Ardèche because
Yes.
it's very nice location for Pinot Noir, and also in Plateau de l'Hérault in south of France in higher altitude. So, and by blending these origins and with a minority also coming from our young vine from Burgundy, but very small proportion.
Oh, right. Okay. Ah.
Yeah. And when we blend that, we also do small aging in barrels in order to give texture to the Pinot Noir and more structure. And the purpose, the objective of Les Cotilles Pinot Noir is if you taste blind tasting, if you are just a classic wine lover or a grand sommelier, a professional, blind tasting, we want to make this, we place it in Burgundy. So when we make it, we want to be in the how can I say? We want to be very close to Burgundy style, even if it is not Burgundy wine. Yeah. And it was great. And also, I have to tell you, with the COVID, after COVID, we had a big demand in Burgundy, very small harvest, unfortunately.
Yes, yeah, I remember.
And so the prices in Burgundy went very high, very high. And it has been a very nice booster for Les Cotilles because we sell that 2.5 less expensive than a Bourgogne Pinot Noir. And
Yes.
I'm not saying it's the same taste than a Bourgogne Pinot Noir, but it's very close, very similar. And it was good for us because we kept a connection with a very nice part of our market and clients. So today we are very confident with Les Cotilles. Yes.
Terrific. You mentioned barrels, so it does actually see barrels and not staves or chips.